Hello and welcome to a quick video looking at Tournament payment model system. So there's been a bit of confusion on the forums and mostly on Reddit about how the Tournament payment system is going to work and how the game's monetized, and actually a lot of questions about how to actually download the game. I'm just going to have a quick 5-minute video of kind of looking over how the game's going to be monetized, or not in this case, and how to get hold of the game and the different unlock elements of the game, including the first season. So to start off with, we're going to download the Epic Games launcher, which is essentially a little bit like Steam, Origin, Uplay, those kind of clients. And once you get that, you'll see a screen a little bit like this once you've logged in, and there's a few games and kits on it at the moment. There's Unreal Engine, which unless you're developing games you don't really need to care about. There's Fortnite, which is a game I don't know anything about, but I assume it's like an alpha that's going to be coming out at some point. It looks a little bit like Overwatch, to be honest. And Unreal Tournament, which is a game we care about, and Ark, which is some kind of survival dino game. So if you go to the Unreal Tournament game, if you don't have the latest up-to-date version, then just click the update version button here, and it'll download. It's quite a big game, even though it's in pre-alpha. But if you download that, you'll be able to launch it once that's ready, and that'll launch you into the game itself. Here we have the install button for the actual kind of content creation editor stuff. So if you want to build like weapons, items, levels, etc. for the game, then this is where you want to go to. There's a fair amount of tutorials, and if you go to the forums here, there's a really great resource in terms of how to create and build stuff. So if you click on the forum button here, then there's great tools. And finally there's a marketplace. So this is what people are a little bit confused about, I think. So the game itself is free from Epic. There's going to be no monetization from Epic themselves, but there will be user content created, cosmetics, and I believe even maps and like mods they can charge for as well. At the moment there are a couple of maps that are free. Pistola, which is a CTF map, Leah Observatory, which is a 1v1 duel map, or you could play TDM or free for there if you wanted. There's a couple of high poly characters that you can download, which you have to download that like separate thing. They're quite big, I think about 800 megabytes each. And then there's some paid cosmetic hats from creators. So you can see all these are all made by actual users, whereas the Epic Games stuff is all free. But yeah, that's pretty much it wrapped up. More stuff will be developed and added into this over time, but it's quite a nice way for like players and content creators to make some money out of the game if they're good at either making mods or making hats or doing something for it. So next up we're going to have a look at the season and how the unlocks from the season work, because there's this new concept called seasons, which I assume is similar to Diablo 2, Diablo 3, those kind of games. I'm sure League and other competitive multiplayer games do it now as well, not that I play them, but yeah, so essentially you can unlock stuff over the course of how many months for that season, and then you have access to that content forevermore after that. So we'll just move over to that right now. So this is the new Unreal Tournament website. It looks very fancy, and there's a new concept in it called Seasons, which I previously talked about when looking at the actual launcher screen. And yeah, essentially there's going to be a season until the end of October, so you want to get in now and get access to this. But by completing things in game, it gives you progression rewards and challenge rewards, training awards, and they give you items. So you start off at level 1 with the choice between this male like human character and a female necklace, and as you level up there's various kind of cosmetic elements to your character you can change, which is quite nice. It doesn't have any effect on gameplay really, but it allows you to kind of create a slightly more unique character. If you go to the challenge rewards, there's a concept called offline challenges, which I shall show you momentarily in game, and what these essentially are is kind of ways to play versus bots and still get progress offline, and there's various kind of I think it's stars you have to pick up, and similar to the tutorial, but if you do that within maps, then you get access to things, which is quite nice. And finally, for completing the trading mission, there is a different skin for the female necklace character. So yeah, if you get all these completed by the end of October, then you'll be able to use any of these various things. There's eyewear, there's hats, and like I said, they have no effect on in-game character, but in-game kind of combat even, but they do have kind of a cosmetic effect on your in-game character, and it's quite nice. Oh, that looks a bit broken. Pre-alpha, guys, is pre-alpha. But that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm just going to show you how to actually level up and do stuff in game right now. Okay, so we're in game, and here's kind of the menu screen if you've not played it before. If you go to basic training here, there are these skill tokens and various kind of trading missions to do. And once you've unlocked everything, I believe, I assume, I've not done it yet, but I believe that's how you unlock the character in the previous screen we saw. And also go to the offline action. So again, here we have easy, medium, hard, and these are the available challenges. And once you've completed them, you can get unlocks to the characters, and not the characters, sorry, the items we saw in the previous on the website. And also there's just a level system, so if you go to the player's card, there's my experience level, progression to the next level, and just by playing the actual game itself, then you'll be able to level up and get access to new things. So there we go, that's pretty much it as a whole. Just to reiterate that there's no way that Epic are ever going to charge for this game, either in terms of DLC or cosmetics or whatever. They state it's going to be free for the life of the game. However, there are cosmetics which players themselves and mods and maps that they can charge for if they wish to, but I will assume that most of the maps and actual in-game stuff will be free from players. It's more stuff like hats which players will charge for. But obviously this is completely optional, so yep, that is UT as a whole. Yeah, I know a lot of people were having kind of lots of questions on how it was going to be monetized and where you could get the game and whether it was available yet. But the game's in pre-alpha, and it'll go to alpha at some point, probably I'd imagine another few months, and then once it's kind of feature complete, we'll see it in beta, and polish will be added. It's completely playable now. There's like some things like if you go to weapon stats page, the font isn't particularly pretty. I don't think this works all that well, but a lot of the features are in the game, they're just not polished. A lot of the maps are here, but they're not kind of not necessarily very pretty yet. For example, these you can see are work in progress shells. We have Leo, which is finished. Get to capture the flag. We've got some shells. Pistola's done. That's one I just downloaded. Titan Pass is done. Facing Woods is done. But some of these are just kind of, they're not fully shelled out yet. But they still look alright. They're playable. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not pretty. So yeah. Also, there's mutators in game already. Some people are asking that. So if you want to make your own own game, you can either make a LAN game or a bot game, or if you go to a hub, for example, that's another thing you can unlock. If you play on an official Epic hub, play one game on it, you'll unlock a hat. I can't remember the name of the hat, but you'll unlock it. So hubs are essentially a little bit like lobbies, but instead of only having one game in the lobby, there's multiple games. So you have this lobby of people here on the right. You have a normal chat here, so you can message people, and then you can either join an existing match within the lobby, or you can start your own one. And then you have the same kind of options you do when you're creating kind of a LAN game or a offline game. So you can select the thing, you can add like mutators, you can set the map, and yeah, the game's pretty good. So yeah, check it out. I'll put the download link in the description. It should be up at the beginning of this little video as well. So here's a kind of brief introduction to Unreal Tournament. So it's a weekend, why don't you download it, get in and have some fun. I've been Galangua, and thanks for watching.